Alrighty, so welcome to our Team Rock Hard Bodies call, Wednesday, May 6th. So we do these calls every other Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and really trying to build our team culture on these, trying to get as many people as possible so we can mastermind, go over one or two topics and really kind of dive deep into those. And then allow question and answers at the end so we can really work together to team build. So before we get started, I wanted to do some recognition. And if you guys have anybody to give a big shout out to, please do so. Just unmute your lines. But I'm super, super excited. So last week we had Shalita and Danielle and Amy all rank advanced to Emerald last week. So we didn't do a team call last week. So I want to make sure to give that shout out. Shalita is one coach away from Diamond. And she signed up the day before I left Cancun. So whoop, whoop, Shalita. Yeah. And then huge shout out to Brandy Liberoni. Signed up about 2.5 months ago and just popped Diamond on Monday. So super go-getter in Success Club 10. She was our top 10 coach for the week this last week. So huge shout out. Last week, our top 10 coach, Miss Christina Kluver. So huge shout out to her. Does anybody else have any big recognition or any recognition whatsoever to share their coaches? You can unmute your line.
Priscilla McDonald just ranked Diamond. I believe it was last week as well.
Yay! Awesome job,
Yay!
Priscilla. And I know she's teaching class tonight, so she wanted to be on the call.
Yes, I'm going to take notes for her.
Awesome. Good. Anybody else?
This is Shalita. I would like to do a shout out for my mother who just ranked Emerald as well, Sybil Green. So
Yay!
Really excited for her as well.
Awesome. And she was in our Emerald Push group.
She was.
Did awesome job. And Matt also popped Emerald last week. So Sybil and Matt both hit Emerald in the Push to Emerald group. So awesome job. Alrighty, so we are going to dive in. So tonight we are going to talk about kind of two things. The second thing was brought up the week before last as something to talk about. So I'm going to address that. And so you guys, one thing to keep in mind, if you guys have any suggestions of topics you want to talk about, please let me know, because that's what this call is all about, is to dive into a topic and just dissect it and learn about it. And how we can improve. So the week before last, we talked about the importance of Emerald, right? None of us would be where we are at. We're not going to be starting and building our business until we really get into that Emerald status. Much far beyond that, to get to Diamond and to Star Diamonds, we are not going to rank advance unless we are creating Emeralds underneath us. So Emerald really is the strong point of our business. You really want to become that Emerald factory. So we talked about that the week before last. What I want to talk about tonight is, it doesn't matter what rank it is, but the importance of holding your rank and kind of what it does for you. So if any of you guys have sharing that you want to do regarding this, please unmute your lines and do so. But what I wanted to talk about is the importance of holding your rank. Now, we have no control of the coaches that we sign up. We have no control if they put their Shakeology on hold. We have no control if they go inactive, if they carry less than 50 personal volume points, which makes them an active coach. We don't have control of that. But what we can do is be checking in our back office of how to watch for inactive coaches that pop up. So one thing that does happen is we are on a 5-week cycle within our business, and Shakeology is sent every 30 days, right? So at some point in time, it usually ends up that your customer or your coach, whether a discount coach or not, if they are only ordering Shakeology or 50 PV especially, they're going to go blinking red inactive for 1 week. Now, what I like to do there is just to check in. So starting like on Sunday or Monday, I go into my online office under the My Business tab, and I go down to my personally sponsored coaches and then sponsorships drill down. Okay. So under the sponsorship drill down, you can check all of your active and inactive coaches. And if it's blinking red, then they either probably are on that 5th week, or they don't have enough PV, or they put their order on hold. Okay, it's usually one of those 3 things. So what I like to do is just to reach out to them. Like I said, we don't have any control of them, but we also, it could be a mistake. It could be, I've had actually many times where like their credit card is expired and they don't realize it. I mean, I know I wouldn't know if my credit card expired and my Shakeology was being charged. I mean, that would be nice if I was informed, but I don't check on that. So if you can be another set of eyes and just reach out to your coach and say something like, hey, you know, how are you doing with your Shakeology? How are your workouts going? I just wanted to check in and see how things are going. I start it there. And then once I get a response, I'll let them know like, hey, I see that you're going to be going inactive. Is there anything that I can do to help you? I didn't know if maybe you put your shake on order or on hold, or if everything was okay. I just really wanted to check in and see how things were going for you. So at least I know there that usually I would say 75% of the time, they don't realize they're going inactive. So the other thing is it gives you peace of mind to know where they stand. And maybe it is that they're on that 5th week. So they're truly not going to be inactive, but they're blinking inactive until their next Shakeology ships. Does that make sense? So really the importance of watching your rank is we can lose rank as fast as we get it. And if you start now at Emerald status, you are going to learn how to watch that far into that Star Diamond rank. And I will tell you that when you go into Star Diamond qualifications for future, you have to hold that for 6 weeks. And it is so frustrating and upsetting when you are working with someone and they didn't realize one of their coaches had an expired card. And it was something that could have been fixed, but it kicked you out of qualification for, say, a $2,000 quarterly bonus for being 5-star diamond, right? Like, if you want to make sure to be proactive on your inactive coaches. So does that make sense to you guys? Do you have any questions? Anybody have any experiences on this? Okay, the one thing that I want to see people share on is also when you work so hard to get to a rank and we have no control over coaches, but how it makes us feel to lose that rank. Some people I see that it's like fire in them and they're like, that's fine. I'm going to totally get that back next week. And they do. Some people, they've worked so hard to achieve a rank and then they get totally deflated. And that's going to depend on personalities. But what you have to understand is this happens quite often. It's not just you that loses a rank, but it's truly really important to watch your online office from like Sunday, Monday on to make sure that you are being at least proactive in checking in with those inactive red blinking coaches to see if there's something that can be fixed, because quite often there is. But truly just trying to be proactive, staying ahead of it, so then that way you don't lose that rank, you don't get deflated, and you just continue being consistent with the 3 vital behaviors to add more coaches. Did somebody have something to share?
Yes. Well, I'm in the office right now, and I'm just wondering where it is that you see the blinking inactive coaches at.
So
where do I find?
If you go into the My Business tab of your online office,
Uh-huh.
and then personally
Okay.
sponsored coaches, and then sponsorship drill down.
Okay. Personally sponsored, and then,
Sponsorship drill down.
okay. I'm just writing it down. Okay. Sponsorship drill down. Thank you.
You bet. Great question. So you can get, even if you lose rank, you can get your rank right back. It just really is consistency. And the one thing that I talk about, you'll hear me say is, you know, like somebody can achieve emerald or diamond, but is it a strong emerald or a strong diamond? So emerald is one coach on your left, one on your right. What I would consider a strong emerald is at least 2 or 3 coaches on your right and your left. So that way, if somebody goes inactive, it's not going to kick you out of your rank. What I consider to be a strong diamond, you need 4 coaches on your left and 4 on your right, with 1 emerald on your left and 1 on your right. So that's just bare bones diamond. That's your minimum qualification. So I always say having like 7 or 8 coaches on each side and having 2 or 3 emeralds on each side is a really strong diamond. Okay, there's a lot of static. Make sure everybody's line is muted. I just had some crazy funky beat here. Let's see here. I'm going to mute lines and see if I can get this. Okay. So, anyways, it definitely is important to build stability in your rank. So, as you get into star diamond ranks, for myself and for other star diamonds, when you're working towards those quarterly bonuses, so at star diamond ranks, you have quarterly bonuses at 2-star, 5-star, 10, and 15. And you, like, if you're going for a 2-star bonus and you only have 2 diamonds, one on your left and one on your right, you either need to be watching them like a hawk, or you need to have an extra diamond on each side, like a 4-star. So 2 diamonds on the right and 2 on the left. That really ensures that you have that 2-star bonus locked in for that quarter. You're not having to stress about it. But the more you can duplicate this within your downline, and the importance you can instill in your emeralds in watching your online office. So if our emeralds lose, they're losing their customer leads. That's huge. Or if they're hitting Success Club 10 and they lose their emerald, they don't get that extra cash bonus from their Shakeology leads. They don't get the Shakeology leads if they're not emeralds. So it's really important to make sure that you're watching that from the emerald status and beyond that. So any questions on that? Does anybody have anything to share as far as that goes? Anybody? No? Okay. So then the next thing I wanted to talk about was somebody had asked, so when you're friend requesting, this goes for like building your pipeline, building your friends list on Facebook or even on Instagram, whatever you use for your social media outlet. We always suggest friending like 2 to 3 new people a day that you have mutual friends in common with, just to really build that pipeline. Well, the question was, what do you do when they accept your friend request? And I think it's really important, whether you know them or not, lead with your fears. Like I remember when I first started, I was like, I'm just going to friend all these people. I had no problem friending them because I didn't have to confront them, right? But then I didn't do anything when they accepted my friend request. I just felt like, well, they could just watch me on Facebook, and, if they start liking my posts, that's fantastic, and eventually I'll reach out to them. But you can really start building that relationship from the front as soon as you see them accept your friend request. So I'll just introduce myself and totally be raw and real and say like, hey, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I'm a mom of 2. I'm happily married. I love, doing active things with my kids and my family. I love working out, and I really love nachos. Tell me a little bit about you. I look forward to hearing back from you. So I'm just kind of raw and real with them and share with them who I am. And that's the whole purpose of social media, is to network with people, right? So I don't know if people aren't accepting my friend request or not, and I could really care less, but I want to reach out to the people that do accept my friend request from the front. And once I see they've accepted it, then I send them that message. And the way you see that is either 2 ways. You can either go in each day to your friends list, your friends box on Facebook, and go to recently added friends. And you can go through and message those people that were recently added in the last 24 hours. Or in your notifications, it'll say, Susie, Joe, Bob, and Bill accepted your friend request. Okay. So then I know I need to message Susie, Joe, Bob, and Bill that message. And I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm truly just trying to build that relationship from there forward. So for me, that's how I reach out to those people that accept my friend request. And the people that I ask to be my friends are people that they look like we have something in common. We have mutual friends in common. For me personally, I tend to friend request majority of females. And, only because I'm kind of awkward to friend request guys. And I've had a couple bad or awkward experiences with that. So I tend to stick with the ladies. But just be yourself. Like, just have that I don't care what they think mentality, and just put yourself out there. And then they are going to watch your Facebook. So pretty soon you're going to see these people are liking your posts. The more authentic you can be, the more often you post, the more opportunity they have to get to know you and truly who you are. So if you're posting 2 or 3 times a day, they might catch a couple of them here and there throughout the week. But if you're posting 5 or 6 times a day, they have more opportunity to get to know you and who you are. So the more you post, the better. You're not bugging anybody. Just put yourself out there, share your journey, and let your Facebook be just a direct reflection of who you are. So does anybody have anything to add to that? We're not going to just have silence on the call, are we? Anybody? Okay, so those are my 2 topics. So if nobody else has anything to add, I want to open it up for questions.
Quick question, Jessica.
Yeah.
Is that the only way you build your pipeline, is via Facebook? Are there any other ways that you build your pipeline, like through other kinds of groups or I guess interpersonal activities that you do?
Yeah, great question. So I've done a few different things. So I've gone into different groups that, I have interests in or things in common. And I basically will stalk that page and stalk different people in there. But I'm not trying to sell them. I'm trying to build that relationship. Now, the one thing I can suggest with doing that is make sure it's not saturated. Make sure that that person is somebody that is like you. And maybe it's not even necessarily fitness related. Maybe it's, country music, or maybe you're in a rock band, and maybe, you like motocross or something like that. Like maybe it's a Facebook page like that, and you connect with a couple people. But what I found was the only way that truly worked for me is trying to connect with people, like 3 to 5 people at a time from that page, and really build that relationship and comment on their posts and create conversation. If I tried to do it with too many people, I would get lost and overwhelmed and wouldn't be able to keep up with conversations or what pages I was on.
Yeah.
So I've done that. That was a great avenue for me. And one example was I was diagnosed with PCOS 2 years ago. And it was super helpful for me to find PCOS pages on Facebook. And that was a great way for me to connect with other people, because majority of those people tend to be overweight because weight loss is a huge struggle. So for me, I came in without that struggle, and it was a way for me, I saw that as a way for me to be able to help those people with still having that same struggle they did of dealing with PCOS. And so I connected with a few people in that way too. But then on my like page, my Body by Jess like page, I will boost posts. And that has been a great way for me to connect with people that I have things in common with.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey Jess, it's Anna. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to share that worked for me actually a couple of days ago, is I added a lot of people as friends in the beginning, but I also didn't say anything to them. Like, I didn't send them the message saying, hey, this is who I am. I'd like to get to know you a little better. And so I was going through my friends list, and I realized, so I sent this person a message, and at first I just said, hey, how's it going? And she sent me a message back, and she's like, oh, good, how are you? And so then I said, hey, I was just looking through my friends list, and I realized you're on there, but I don't really know you. And then I told her, hey, my name is Anna. I'm a wife of 2 years. I'm 23 years old. And I just kind of told her about, myself, and asked her, like, can you tell me a little more about you? And then that kind of kicked off the conversation.
Perfect. So you get like that awkward, like, who are you? I don't know you, out of the way, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. And that goes to show, like, too, leading with the fear of, like, gosh, what are they going to think of me? Like, they're going to be wondering who this crazy person is messaging them. But that's a great way to respond and to message somebody. And again, lead with that fear.
That's awesome, Anna. Because I was looking at my friend with, like, I've got like 600 friends, and I'm like, gosh, who are all these people? How do I connect with them?
Totally.
So that's awesome.
And the funny part is with that is a lot of times you still have a lot of those people following you. They might not like or comment on any of your posts. And so you send a message to them. They're like, oh yeah, I know who you are. Oh, okay. But it's a great way then to connect and open up that door.
Yeah, and then she actually even asked me, she's like, oh, how long have you been coaching for? And then we got into that conversation, and I was able to add her to the 5-day open house for coaching.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah, so she already knew who I was and what I was doing, because she was like looking at me and liking my post, but I knew nothing about her.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Way to go. So who else has something to share or questions? Anybody? No.
Have you done anything outside of Facebook to build that pipeline?
For me, I'm just kind of dabbling into Instagram. I've kind of always been, I'll post on it, but I'm not consistent. I don't ever engage with people. So I'm trying to slowly add that piece in, but I don't like to get overwhelmed personally. I don't add anything to my plate unless I have like just a super smooth plan each and every day, and everything is just getting done with no stress. That's when I'll add in like, okay, I'm going to try to conversate with 1 to 2 people each day.
Mm-hmm. What about in your day-to-day experience, outside of, I guess, online, like at church or wherever? How do you engage folks that way? Or are they usually friends with you on Facebook?
Both. I type 90 miles an hour, so I personally don't have a problem talking to people.
Yeah.
But I think what people struggle with is like, how do I lead into Beachbody? And
Right.
I don't honestly think you have to worry about that. I think naturally when you are passionate and excited about Beachbody, it's going to go there. And a lot of those people might be on your Facebook. Some of them might not be on your Facebook, but the conversation either goes to like, oh, what have you been up to? Boom, perfect opportunity to share, right? What things do you enjoy doing, or what did you do this last weekend? Again, perfect opportunity to share. But the more, as time goes by and the more vulnerable and the more you put yourself out there on Facebook, the more your community starts seeing what you do, and who you are. So when you go out in public, then a lot of times they'll bring it up. But when I talk to people, eventually it goes into, you know, working out or fitness or nutrition or coaching.
Jess, can I ask a quick question that's totally unrelated to finding people to talk to about it? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Related to Shakeology. Just recently, I have a client that was using Shakeology. She was really healthy anyway. Like she's been into fitness. She's, you know, watched her nutrition. Like, I mean, she's kind of like a poster child for hardcore fitness. And I spoke to her about Shakeology. She tried it and she absolutely loves it. However, she's also noticed that she's like, I started getting really bad headaches. And so I stopped taking it to see, and the headaches went away. I drank it again and immediately got the headache. And I was like, well, what if you know, she's like, I really love it, so I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, try taking like a half a scoop for like a week or so and see if that helps, and then maybe just work it back in. She's going to try that. But if you had, I mean, I'm sure that she can't be the only one that's had some sort of adverse effect for some reason. Have you dealt with that? And if so, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, well, I wouldn't say a lot of times because it's super rare that it happens, but you have the occasion where somebody is allergic to one of the superfoods.
Yes.
And you really have no way of knowing. I mean, there's over 70 superfoods. Yeah. So you wouldn't know really if she has a reaction. But if it's that instantaneous, I mean, I want to say it's probably an allergic reaction.
So that's
the one thing I would suggest is, number one, check with her how much she's drinking, how much water she's drinking. Now, if she's super fit and really into nutrition, then I would assume, but I don't want to make the accusation, I would assume she's drinking enough water. But what happens with Shakeology, and I think Danielle had a question with somebody getting bloated, right? Well, that's pretty common actually, because what happens is Shakeology is like a gentle flush, right? Whether you eat crummy or you just have a lot of sludge in your system that needs to be pushed through, you need to be drinking a lot of water to be able to process that garbage out of your body. And if you're not, it's going to compact up and it's going to cause bloat and it's going to cause fatigue. It could cause headaches. It could, that could be part of it. It could be a simple fix as that. So I would definitely ask her, make sure that you're bare minimum drinking 64 ounces of water. I always tell people to push a gallon a day. That's definitely the first thing I would ask. The other thing is I would have them try vegan. If they're on regular, I would have them try vegan and see if they have that same reaction to the vegan, because there's different superfoods in vegan than regular.
I had a friend that was doing, I think, the regular chocolate, and she was on it for almost her whole first bag, and then all of a sudden she started breaking out in hives, and I mean head to toe itching, hives, the whole deal. And she does have a lot of different weird food allergies. So she stopped for a couple weeks, started again, and after the first week of doing it again, she broke out in hives again. So she just stopped, and she went to the vegan, and she's completely fine on it, and it doesn't bother her at all. So definitely try.
Awesome.
And she was literally, she was Googling like a lot of the different ingredients, and there was the maca root. And one of the side effects to maca root is hives. So that's kind of what she kind of figured out that she was like allergic to or having a reaction to. So definitely the vegan is a good choice to switch to if they're having problems.
And it's rare, but everybody's body is different, so that you're going to have these adverse side effects and allergies. So it's a great topic. But it either ends up like cutting back to a half a scoop, making sure they're drinking enough fluids, enough water, to be pushing everything out and processing it, and then switching, trying the vegan formula. Awesome.
Can you hear me, Jessica?
Now I can. Who is that?
This is Devin, and I was trying to ask questions earlier, but I had to hang up and call back because no one could hear me.
Oh, go ahead. We can hear you now.
You can hear me now. That's good.
Do you have a question, Devin?
Oh, well, I actually had questions about, I guess I kind of do have a little bit of a fear of being too pushy. And like, I have one of my challengers right now who is really posting a lot and tagging me in her posts, which is totally awesome. But I'm wondering, I'm feeling like I want to friend the people that are commenting on her, on all of her posts, encouraging her and saying that they want to start doing it too. But then again, I'm feeling like, are they going to, is that going to be coming like off overbearing if she's posting and I'm constantly friending all of her friends off of these posts, or should I just not care?
Have you talked to your friend about coaching?
I have not yet, but I have been I've been considering. I'm just watching her right now. She's 3 days into the 21-day fix, and she's been posting every day. So it's been pretty awesome.
Wow. So I'm a huge believer. It's never too soon to talk to somebody about coaching.
Okay.
But also, it's totally up to you, but I would start planting those seeds. She can always go back to those posts and friend request those people, even at the end of 21 days. So what I would do now is just keep firmly encouraging her, like, oh my gosh, you are doing so awesome. Keep posting. You are inspiring so many people. Just keep that going. And then
I've been so far. Yes.
Perfect. And then maybe, in like a week or a week and a half, have her be posting more on your challenge group page and just say, so many people are inspired by you and motivated by you. You're just totally killing it. Would you mind posting a little more on the challenge group, because so many people are loving what you're posting? And then, plug them in maybe to the 5-day sneak peek, talk to her in maybe a week and a half or 10 days.
Okay.
And you can always go back to those posts and friend request them too.
Okay, great.
I wouldn't necessarily do that now.
Okay, I won't do that then.
Hey, Devin.
Awesome. Yeah?
This is Liz. Are those her friends that are like she's tagging you in a post and they're commenting? Are they acting interested?
Yeah, they're saying they're talking about wanting to do something like that. What is it that you're doing? You're inspiring me to go out and walk. They're definitely interacting. They're interacting, and they are telling her that she's making them want to work out and eat healthier.
Anyone that you would see, this is just what I would do, anyone that you see that would be interested, I would have a side conversation with her and just kind of like piggyback her and kind of like coaching light and be like, let's get them signed up. It would be great accountability. You guys can be accountability partners. And then you can help her.
You mean as far as my my friend who is posting these?
Yeah, she's doing the 21-day fix, and if she has separate friends that are starting to follow, I would completely just kind of hold her hand and just like coach light with her, like coaching on a diet, where she's not a full-fledged coach, but she's getting the benefits. Like you're tapping your teeth, like holding the carrot there. She gets one of her friends signed up, and she sees the support she can offer them. It's going to open a whole nother gate for her and a whole different belief system that she's going to have.
Yeah, she's blown away. Like she's going, I cannot believe it. I've never thought that I would ever be able to inspire people before. So it's taking her aback and taking her by surprise that she's inspiring people.
She has hopped on the train to Successful.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of that is you believing in her, because, you know, like she shared with you, she can't believe people are inspired by her. I think that's the number one thing of why people wouldn't become a coach, is they don't think they can inspire others. And she's already done it right there.
Right. Yep. And she's already done it.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to her. Thank you for all of your feedback, you guys.
Oh, you bet. Absolutely. Does anybody else have any questions or anything else to share? I have one topic I need to talk about that I forgot to talk about at the beginning, but does anybody else have anything to share?
Can I just
have one.
Go ahead.
I just have one question about what does it mean to boost a post?
So if you have a business like page, so not your personal page, your business like page, on the bottom right of a post, there'll be a little box and it says boost. And if you click on that, you can actually target your audience to have it be people that are like you. So like I target, some of them that I target are like moms and fitness and personal trainers and pregnancy, you know, so different things like that make you who you are. You could put like hairstylist. So your post is targeting those people, and then you can pay, like you can set a budget of like $5. And cool. So posts I boost are like my challenge group posts or like a coach opportunity post.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet. Liz, what were you going to say, hon?
I just wanted to stress really important about vulnerability and actually getting out there and being vulnerable. And that's something that I believe in, but I haven't done it and I've struggled with it. And I put a very vulnerable post out there tonight to where people ask, how do you know it's a vulnerable post? Well, I feel like I want to throw up because it's out there right now. But it's being really real and it's going to be relatable. And just looking at like the traction I'm getting from it right now just proves that people want to be able to connect to you on a deeper level. Yeah, they want to watch your fitness journey, but they want to know that you struggle and that every day is harder. And it's like to really put yourself out there is very challenging, but it's so important when you're building a following.
Totally. That was something that really I think a lot of us took away from Super Saturday. Here in Portland, Amy Silverman, who is one of the top coaches, talked about, you know, not just the vulnerability, but authenticity. You know, that vulnerability goes along with authenticity and getting uncomfortable with your posts and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And same thing, honestly, this morning I was like this crazy rant, like that crazy mom trying to get Gracie out the door, and we ended up being an hour early, and the joke was on me, and I made this like quirky video, and I was like, I'm not even going to post it. And I was like, screw it, I'm just going to post it. And like everybody was like, oh my gosh, you totally made me laugh. This is totally me. And I was like, people are going to think I'm the biggest ding dong. And it got so much traction. Just this quirky little like spontaneous video of putting myself out there got a lot of traction. And it's so true, you know, with what you said, Liz, like the more you can be real and share the good, the bad, the ugly, but what are you doing with it? The more people are going to be inspired and the more relatable you're going to be. So now we have to all go over to Liz's page and check out her posts.
Seriously, I want to puke.
Totally. Yeah. Our Facebook stalk you. Okay. So what I want to talk about real quick is our funnel. Is everybody muted? Here. Okay.
Somebody is chopping vegetables.
I know. I hear that too. Jillian's like, it's not me. Okay. So we have the Coach Basics email training. So this is talking about getting your coaches started right. We have the Coach Basics emails training. They have been working fantastic. And then we have our Push to Emerald groups, and we have our 5-day coach sneak peeks, right? The more consistent you use those things and you plug your coaches into, the more your team is going to grow. Now, it was something I have been thinking about, and it's been heavy on my heart. And then I listened to the National Wake Up Call from Nikki Whiting the week before last. And then actually, I think Devin was the one that messaged me. And I was like, this is a sign. Like, I need to do this. So starting June 1st, I'm working with, a handful of leaders on our team. And we are putting together those Coach Basics emails into a kick butt, super fun 21-day boot camp for new coaches. So I realized that not all new coaches are going to learn through using the emails. A lot of people learn by being in that group environment and having that interaction. Now, with that being said, it needs to be super duper simple. Coaching is super basic. We're not looking for homework. We're not looking for this to be stressful. I'm looking for this to be like, you check into this page, it's 5 to 10 minutes long, and boom, this is what I need to do, okay? It's going to start off with super basic week 1. Like, we are going to start this the first Monday of every month. So the one in June starts, it just so happens Monday, June 1st is Monday. So this starts June 1st. And we are going to open it up the Monday prior, so May 25th. And what we're going to do that week before we actually start is each one of the leaders leading it is going to post a quick 2 to 3 minute video introducing themselves, how they got started with coaching, and how they've kept this business simple in creating a kick butt team. Okay, so we're just going to kind of build momentum with a little video Monday through Friday. Then June 1st, when we start, it's going to be super basic. I mean basic, like how to set up your profile, how to set EFT, how to set preferred placement. Like week 1 is going to be basic because they either have just signed up, they haven't got their program yet, or maybe it's the first week they got their program. Okay, week 2, we'll get started with the 3 vital behaviors and kind of dissect those in a very basic way, but dissect them each day. And then we'll get into, the importance of posting, what Success Club is, how to rank advance. It's going to be very basic. Okay. Then the 4th Monday, so it's 21 days. The 4th Monday, we're going right into our Emerald or Bust group. So the Emerald Boot Camp. Okay. First 21 days is the boot camp training. Then the last week is the Emerald training. So it's just going to lead right in, steady flow. So we are going to start the first Monday of every month, and then the 4th Monday of every month will be the Emerald training. Okay, so starting in June, there's only 1 Emerald training a month. We will still have our 5-day coach sneak peeks the 1st and 3rd Monday. All of this will always be on the calendar that's pinned to the top of Team Rock Hard Bodies too. And then we will start that. But what we're doing is and I know you guys might frown on this, but from, lots of experience, I'm not adding anybody in after Monday, June 1st. So if you have coaches signed up right now that are signing up, you'll use those Coach Basics emails. You work with them closely to keep it simple and basic, keep them excited, and then plug them in, the 25th of May when the group opens or that week. But the evening of June 1st, nobody else is able to be added into that group until the next group starts in July. And the reason why is because so many times over and over again, people are added in late. They get overwhelmed with content, and it's not fair to them. It's not fair at all. We need to start these coaches off right, keep it super simple, keep it super basic, and have a system that just is a steady flow. Okay? So the Coach Basics emails are still there. They're fantastic. That works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. So we are just taking those, making it into Coaching for Dummies 101. Basically, like, it needs to be super simple in order for it just to be a steady flow. And truly, this business is simple, right? When we get stressed out, it's because we're overcomplicating it, right? Like, it just gets to be, we do it to ourselves. And so that starts June 1st. So from here on out, if you guys have coaches that are signing up right now, or you have coaches that, that they would work into this format, get them plugged in. And the more consistent you can do that, plug your coaches into the boot camp, and then they go into the Emerald training, the more flow, your business, your team is going to just start booming, and that dream team is going to happen for you. Okay. So that's going to be a natural Emerald factory for you if you can just stay in touch with your coaches and plug them into that circle. Okay. Any questions on that? That starts June 1st, but we will open up, and I'll be posting on that page. And we're going to kick off that group Monday with a group GSR training too, or a GSR call, just kind of like an introduction to coaching. Like, this is what we're doing. Keep it 30 minutes, short and sweet, but it's a way for us as leaders to introduce ourselves to these new people on the team and to kind of give them a glance at this awesome opportunity. Okay. But that still doesn't mean that you disconnect from your coach. You still need to make sure that you stay connected with them throughout the whole training. Any questions on that?
Jess, I have a question.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first. So how do you, what's it called? I have a lot of people that I've signed up as discount coaches lately, and not people who want to do the business. So how do you transition or find out if somebody wants to do the business, or do you only put people who want to do the business into these kind of trainings?
I only put business builders in. You're
Okay.
not, because otherwise you're wasting your time and their time. So I treat discount coaches just like customers. So as soon as I see them, posting and sharing and getting excited in the challenge group, I do like what Devin was talking about. You start planting those seeds, and then I would still plug them into the 5-day coach sneak peek, even though they're already a coach. You treat them like a customer. And the only difference is they don't have to sign up. They're already signed up. But you want to still walk them through the steps of what you would do as if they were a customer. Plug them into the 5-day coach sneak peek. Let them see truly what coaching is all about. And then, are they ready to go from there? Is this truly something that they want? And then from there, if the new coach training has already started, then you work closely with them and use those new Coach Basics emails and plug them into the next boot camp.
Jess, I have a quick question off of that.
Yeah.
So like she was asking, and like you mentioned about discount coaches. So couldn't you do those ones that sign as a discount coach? Do you send them the Getting Started Right email where it has the questions?
No.
You don't?
I treat them just like a customer.
Okay.
The only thing I do is remind them to cancel the club membership. Like, I always give people a what's next. Like, awesome, I'm super excited to help you get started. Let me know as soon as you receive your challenge pack. So then that is my cue. As soon as they let me know they receive their challenge pack, I'm super excited. Do you have any questions? And then I say, one thing I want to remind you is you have the club membership for 30 days. So if they're a discount coach, they have club membership. So they have the Beachbody On Demand access free for 30 days. Now, because they already are a discount coach, they're saving 25%. And they are going to be charged that $38.96 a quarter after the 30 days if they don't cancel it. And so I remind them of that. And that's it. Otherwise, I treat discount coaches just like customers.
Okay, thank you.
Jessica,
Yep.
Jessica, I got a question for you. You had mentioned earlier about the business. You have a business-like page, and what do you see the advantage of doing that with your personal Facebook page? And how do you run that? Because I don't have one, so I'm just trying to figure out how do you do that.
I see the business-like page as long-term success. To flood my pipeline, basically. I started off, well, just like anybody, with no business-like page. Got a business-like page through, you can boost posts and people like your page from boosting your posts. So I got not only opportunity for customers that are all over the United States and Canada by boosting posts, which you can't do on your personal page. But I found Elizabeth Nowicki from my like page from boosting a post. I found Jordan Duvall. I found some amazing coaches on our team by doing that. I would have not been able to have that access on my personal page because you can't branch out into the Facebook world unless you use a like page. So what I do is, the way I treat those two pages is I still post on that page like 5 times a day. You can schedule your posts on there, so that makes it really easy. So like for you, you work full time. So you could take a day on the weekend and schedule every single post for every day. I do keep my morning posts the exact same on each page. So like my fitness post or my motivational post that I make in the morning is the same post on my like page. If I do like a video or something, I'll share that from my personal page to my like page because I want to kind of tie them together. Okay. But otherwise, the things that I post on my like page are the things that make me who I am. So like, you know, I try to do like family-friendly recipes, quick, easy meals, fitness tips, because I used to be a personal trainer, I guess technically still. But so I do fitness tips. I'll do like little, my own funky videos, which there's nothing fantastic about those, but they're me. I do motivational quotes, the big motivational page. And I don't post as much family stuff on that page. Whereas my personal page, I still kind of do that stuff, but I would say I post less recipes and more just like real life, like, hey, this is me. This is the raw, real Jessie. More family, because that's majority of who I am, family and fitness.
That's good.
So,
what about events too? Like I guess on the Facebook page, there's a place where you can create your own event. Like, what if you wanted to create your own challenge, I guess, whatever, and you wanted to invite others? Have you done something like that? Or
never.
Okay.
I don't, honestly, that totally reminds me of all of those eyelash and makeup parties. And I'm so over that. I don't know about you guys. You get added to all these groups of like mascara. I know you guys don't, but like, that to me is ridiculous. Like, really, give me the opportunity to join a group if I want to join a group. And I just find that to be less personal, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying, I've never dabbled in that, so that might have worked for somebody, but nobody that I know of has done that. Like if they're doing a challenge group, they just create a group, just like you've done, and you add your challengers in. You know, you could always do another great way to kind of build up rapport with people and relationships, and the people that always hear cost objection is to do like a squat challenge, or like a 30-day squat challenge, or a 10-day clean eating challenge, and you know, or some sort of fun challenge, and have it be a place where it's free for everybody and it's nothing that's much work for you. But it's a great way for you to build relationships and trust with people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And the business like page is free too. So anything, the page is free, but anything you do, like you can promote your page and pay like $2 or $5 a day to promote your page and to get more likes on that page. And you can target who you like, who you want to like it. So that costs money, but that's where I'm saying, like, you can do whatever you want with that. When I first started, like 2 days a week, I would spend $5 and boost it. And I think I have over 12,000 likes on that page now, just because over the last couple of years, I've done things like that. So, you know, it's definitely a business like page. I feel like is like your big long-term pipeline for success. And don't have your name be all something crazy. Like, be careful of what name you pick. Like, you know, sometimes people have these crazy names, and how are people ever going to find your page? You know, like you could do, you know, Shalita's Fitness page, or something like that. I used to have mine just to be Body by Jess. And I actually had a hard time getting likes, and I was able to jump through a couple hoops and add fitness on, Body by Jess Fitness. So at least people, if they search fitness, could find it. But I think if I did it over again, I would have it be more like with my name in it. So then that way people could link the two together. So anybody have any 2 bits on the like page? Nada? All right. So anybody have any questions to wrap this up?
I have one more question, Jess. So like for discount coaches, do you even introduce them to your like groups? Do you add them to your personally sponsored groups? Like, what do you do with that? Or do you just leave them, like, you know, and not introduce them? Because I'm just starting out. So I have a lot of discount coaches and not a lot of business builders.
I add all of my discount coaches to my personally sponsored page. To my personally sponsored page. I don't add them into our big Team Rock Hard Bodies page, because they're going to be overwhelmed and flooded. So just to my personally sponsored page. So as a newer coach doing that, what you can do is introduce them like a challenger. Like, I just want to introduce so-and-so signed up, you know, for the Shakeology discount. I'm super excited. He's got some big goals to achieve with the 21-day fix in Shakeology while reaping the 25% discount. You know, welcome to our team page. And you can kind of let them know, you know, from there. It gives them a nice, warm, fuzzy introduction. And then just continue to post your regular stuff on your team page. And what happens actually is a lot of times I've had my discount coaches get engaged with little things that I pop up, like, oh gosh, that's like super inspiring. Like, oh man, you know, maybe I'm ready to actually like start coaching or think about coaching. Can you tell me a little more about it? Oh, absolutely. So definitely I would add your personally sponsored coaches, your discount coaches, into your personally sponsored page. And I know not every coach has their own personally sponsored page. And I really recommend, like, once you get to Emerald and you have, you know, 1 or 2 business builders, open your own personally sponsored page. That is, you are a leader. You know, that is a chance for you to duplicate what you like on your coach's personally sponsored page, but also share things that are working for you. Like, hey, I just was using this script to invite people to my next challenge group and it worked fantastic. You know, this is what I use. You know, like, you know, as new coaches, people are all over scripts. Like, they would love that. So those are things that you would share as a new coach on your page. Like, what are you doing to find success? Share with them your struggles. Like, don't hide from your team, because the more real you can be with your team, when they come upon a struggle, they're going to be like, oh, I remember, you know, Liz went through this too. Or I remember Jessie said she struggled with that too. So like, it's like, it's okay. They push through, push forward. So keep your personally sponsored coach page simple. But if you have 1 or 2 business builders, open it up.
So I have a question about all of the team pages. So I know for me, you know, having so many pages gets kind of overwhelming. And so I don't want to overwhelm my coaches with pages. So I've got my own team page, and then my upline has their team page that I've added them to. But then I'd also like to add them to your page, but then that's just another page. And so what is your recommendation on what do we do? What are your thoughts?
Go with your gut, number 1. Number 2, when I started, it's up to the person. So even if you add them in, they could have the choice to not look at it or not, right? So when I first started, I was a part of 2 pages. And then when I opened up my own page, of course, that was my main focus. And then there was one of the 2 pages that I was on that I got more information from, but that was my choice because it worked for me. I was still a part of the other one. And then pretty soon you get to the point where, you know, you have the hang of what you want the culture to be on your page. So you're not really checking the other page anyway. So I don't think it hurts, and you can just let them know, like, hey, I want to make sure I add you to, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed either. So you check out and see what works out best for you, and follow the pages that work for you. But make sure that they check into your personally sponsored page, number 1. That's my opinion. And also, too, as we get into coaching, we get more groups that we're involved with. But as new coaches, we don't have as many groups. But it's also just having groups to check in with can be overwhelming as a new coach. Great question. Anybody else? Any questions?
Hey, Jessie, I'm going to ask you this last question. I went to I'm going to call it the Team Beachbody Saturday, Super Saturday.
Yeah.
And there was a presenter that was talking about how they got their coaches, the business building coaches, and they did that by using this form called Wufoo. And I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but
you are.
She said that, you know, she used it to actually kind of do like an application for people who are really interested in building the business instead of just discount coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have something like that, or what would you recommend, you know, in doing something like that?
Yeah, you bet. I use that. I use Wufoo for, actually you filled out my Wufoo application, Shalita. So on like your business opportunity posts, you don't want to say private message me for more information, because matter of fact, they're not going to private message you. Like, it never happens. They're busy. They're in the grocery store line. They're, you know, going to the bathroom, whatever the case may be. They're like just quickly at a glance checking their Facebook, and it looks interesting, but they don't have time to private message you. So if they could put something like all in or more info, like you could say, like, put all in below in the comments and I'll send you a private message, or put more info below and I can send you a private message with more information. But for the Wufoo application, it literally is wufoo.com. So WUFOO.com. You can create a free account and you have your team application and keep your application simple. So just like somebody doesn't have time to private message you, they don't have time to fill out a book for the application. So name, email, phone number, what intrigues you the most about this opportunity, something like that. So it's more cut and dry, and they all get systematized into your Wufoo link. So you never lose those people. It's a great way to stay organized. It's cut and clean, and it takes them, you know, the extra 2 minutes to fill it out, but it's short and sweet. Whereas there, you know, a lot of times people are more intimidated to private message than to fill out the quick little Wufoo application. I do that with challenge groups and also with coaching. So you can have a coaching application and a challenge group application, but my suggestion is just to keep it super basic and simple on the application.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. You bet. The last thing too, you guys, I'm going to be posting up. So I kind of get in this little mode of doing Success Club prizes. So I'm going to be posting up in the team pages. Go Deanna! Success Club prizes for hitting Success Club 5 and hitting Success Club 10. I do that occasionally because I want to emphasize the importance of building your business, and having that goal of hitting Success Club is a great accomplishment, and it's something to give yourself a pat on the back for, and you know, congratulate you on your success. So and for some people, they're motivated by incentives. So I'm going to post up some stuff, and it's a great way for you to help your coaches get motivated to hit Success Club. So it's a great way for you, a great tool for you to help build your team. So I'll post those up on the team page, and just tag your coaches in there. Make sure when you're tagging your coaches too, if they pop up gray, then they're not added to the team page. So make sure they're added to the team page. We've had quite a few of those happen lately. And then that's it, I think. Anybody else got any business? Add to? No? Alrighty, well, thank you so much, you guys, for taking your time on the call. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Okay? 2 weeks, Wednesday at 5:30. All right, have a great night. Thanks, guys.